Okay, I don't even know why I never subscribed to you before. And you've always been in the wings. I've watched your vids, but this particular video, um, and I haven't really stood on anything on the Second Amendment as far as on the channel video-wise. So I guess this will be my way of getting it out there and where my stance is. I'm not, basically, of course, I support the Second Amendment. I have contacted my legislators, and really, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I did it just so I can say I've done it. I live in New Jersey, so you can pretty much make the, we have some of the worst gun laws. I think we're probably second to New York, and maybe even third to California as far as gun laws, and it's even specific to towns. Like my town in particular, I had to notify my employer when I got when I had to apply to get a gun. I mean, it's freaking ridiculous, and it gets me really angry. And for the most part, I kind of don't. I'm not. There's so many channels out there that are like showing their guns and shooting their guns off, so people can just go there. And besides the point, I don't really want people to know what I have, or, so I kind of keep away from that. Because that alone, not knowing, it's a force multiplier, and you don't know who's watching what, and that's kind of on here. But that video is fantastic, and I've heard the Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil, and really what's happening is this country's morality is falling apart. The degradation of the family, the degradation of life in general. When it comes to abortion, people are talking about the woman's right, but they talk about the unborn child as an object, not a separate living entity. So life in itself is kind of debated, so to speak. You just look around. I mean, I just on New Year's Eve, you have this right on national TV. I think it was on CNN, where I don't even remember who the actress was. She's this redheaded, terrible comedian. She's not even funny. And she's like going down and kissing one of the hosts' lower half on national TV. I actually have the video, but I've been saving it to do a whole video on the morality of the United States falling apart. It's now considered a good thing if you can get something for free. It's more honorable. Everything is completely flipped upside down. The book of Isaiah talks about that in those end times that there will be good will be called evil and evil will be called good, and that's exactly what you see now. So I think this has all been leading to the final seizure of people's right to bear arms, and they'll debate hunting and anybody who gets on there and says that this has nothing to do with hunting, it has everything to do with protecting us from the people who are supposed to be serving us, our government. And that's really, and everyone, you don't see that brought up that often on TV because people don't want to admit that, but that's truly what the Second Amendment is. And it's important to fight back. But unfortunately, I feel that the apathy, which has been shown in the election of Barack Obama again, and the fact that 300,000 people didn't even bother to vote, that's where we've come down to. We've come down to being apathetic, not caring about anybody else but ourselves in a sense. We've bred an entire generation of narcissists. And you look at Roman times, and I've done videos on this, and Roman times is the exact same scenario that happened to Rome. Their own affluence and their own success ultimately killed them. Their morality began to degrade. The family began to fall apart, and that's what you're seeing now. Families falling apart. I mean, both parents have to work. Most families, both parents have to work. So the children have to be put in daycare, and you have no control over what's going to happen. I just watched a video on Drudge Report where the nanny was slapping around an infant. There should be one parent home with the kids until they're teenagers or longer. But now with both families, or both parents working, and you have no choice because they just keep raising taxes, they keep burdening the families to the point where both parents have to work. And so we're having generations of kids that aren't really being raised, in a sense, by their parents in every step of the way, which I think should be done. And I can go on, and this video will turn into this long diatribe, because I get really, this subject really irks me, and it irks me that it just seems almost hopeless, but yet I still plug away. I still try to do things, and hence that's why I'm doing this video. There was a satirist during the Roman times, because the Romans actually voted their rights away. They basically voted the Senate and all the control to go into 3 individuals' power, and eventually 2 of those individuals got killed, and you had your one dictator. But the Roman people actually voted this way. And this satirist from the year 100, his name is Juvenal, and one of the things he said was that the Roman Empire and the people, the great Roman people, gave away their political freedom for bread and circuses. As long as they were entertained and as long as they were fed, they didn't care. As long as they're getting their food stamps and they have their Snooki and their American Idol to watch, then who cares? Who cares what they do in Washington? So basically, I know you said that the lower U.S. states, but I don't need the gun, so I don't need it. So I would like to pay it forward if I get drawn, or if I'm even eligible to be drawn. So that's kind of what I want to do. And I'll just go through the different people that I'm subscribed to and see who will need this, So that's kind of what I want to do. If that's, it's up to you. It's your deal. It's your drawing. But I wanted to support this one way or another, even if you don't want to go that route. That's fine. The main thing is just to make this video. So here's my stance, and a lot of times, like I said, I don't sit here and focus on the whole gun thing on my channel, just based on the ministry that I'm involved in. It's just, I don't feel led to do that, but I do support the Second Amendment. I do understand what it means, and yes, it's very important to fight for, and anybody out there who has not written their politicians, their senators, their representatives, so to speak. I'm tired. It's a long day. Do so. Even if you're in a socialist state such as mine, New Jersey. You just have to. It's just like you have to me, you have to vote. I don't agree with people that just will not vote and sit home and then claim that, oh, it's all fixed anyway. I mean, to me, that's a cop-out. You have a right as a citizen and a duty as a citizen, at the very least, to vote. and you also have a duty. That's the thing that happened to the Roman people. They got tired of governing themselves. They got lazy, and they got apathetic. And now we learn about Rome in our history classes. All right, great video. Thank you for making it, and you got me to come out and do this. So that video was successful, at least in that sense. Well, God bless, and take care.